Hello everyone and welcome to part 2 of our Gibb River Road adventure. I don't want to say too much, but I will say this: we loved the Gibb. There are so many beautiful places to see out there. We've come along the Gibb in September of 21, trailing what's being called their busiest season ever. So while the roads were horrendous, the waterfalls and the gorges and the scenery was every bit as spectacular as we had hoped for. But while we loved the Gibb didn't love us. We hit some trouble that you just wouldn't wish on anybody. Trouble that has the potential to end our trip or even to send us home. So I'm not going to say any more than that. We'll just let the movie roll and you can see for yourself how our Gibb River Road adventure turned out. Here's our map with all the places that we hope to visit. And this episode starts as we leave El Questro. Questro this morning, come along across the Pentecost river, which is but not much more than a puddle, but it's iconic, so we still took our photo and our bit of footage. We've now just dropped into Ellenbrae Station, which looks quite nice. Got a swimming pool, beautiful in here. Anyway, we're just going to pop inside, have a look, maybe have lunch, and then we'll probably keep going. Kerry's noticed as we've come up behind this van that the owners have lost their water tank. It's come loose underneath the van. We found the owners and had a chat to them. How lovely is the green. This is the Dusty Bar. The Dusty to locals. Pretty cool. Nice place, Kerry? Voila! Just put in here, we're on the Gibb River. Found a little spot with a bit of shade and we're going to have a cup of tea, a bit of a break from the road. Yeah, but this is pretty cool. This Gibb River down here. Great big sandy banks, apparently lots of crocs in here. We'll stop here to fish. Yeah, pretty cool spot. a mango tree. Pity they're not ripe. It's beautiful here. Look at the gardens. There's mangoes. You see? Well, we've arrived at Ellenbrae Homestead, home of the famous scone on the Gibb River Road, and we'll have ours fresh tomorrow morning. Yeah, it's beautiful here with the green grass, the gardens. Yeah, so we're going to stay here overnight. And yeah, it's a swimming hole 100 metres down from where we're going to set up. So I might go for a late afternoon swim before we settle down for the evening. Okay, so we quickly set up our our caravan in the Dust Bowl. It's a nice location, but yeah, so dusty. Anyway, we're just going down the water hole, have a bit of a look and maybe a quick dip. And just as the sun's setting, probably in about the next 15 minutes or something. See what it's like. Alright, here is the swimming hole. Is that just foliage on top, you reckon, Kay?
Yeah.
I went in for a swim, which was really refreshing after the hot day, but Kerry missed out. Well, we've had a really nice night's sleep down there at the campground, slept pretty soundly, but now we're back up to the homestead for our scones. Let's see if they're cracked up to be.
Yeah, mixing up something there. And 2 scones.
2 tomato onion, 2 scones and 2 coffees.
Yep.
Yes, thanks. Ellenbrae scones and toasty. Nice way to start the day. Beautiful lush area at Ellenbrae. Goodbye, Ellenbrae. Thank you for your scones and hospitality. Gibb River. Well, this is a cool little spot. We've just come on the Kalumburu road, only about 3 or 4 kilometres in to where you actually cross the Gibb River. And people do camp down here. It's got this beautiful little water hole that you can swim in. And so you might just stop here for a bit of a break and maybe have a dip in this river. It's another KImberley 38-degree day. It's beautiful here, peaceful. So we've currently pulled into the Gibb River Station Roadhouse. Gibb River Station is a working cattle station owned by an Aboriginal corporation. They've got a little shop here. They sell fuel, which is great, but you don't really know whether they're going to be open or not. Their reputation with all the reviews is that they're not consistently open, don't consistently have fuel. We've lucked in today, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, this is it. It's pretty cool little spot. Nice bit of green grass. I'm just going to go in and see if they sell ice creams.
Yeah.
Nice little chat to the fellow in the shop. Got our fuel. And we've still got a fair way to go to get to where we'd like to camp for the night. We've left the main Gibb Road and we're coming into our little campsite for tonight. It's called Windjana Gorge campground, and it gives you access to the Barnett River Gorge. So we're just chasing the last part of the day. The sun will be down in probably about 40 minutes. Yeah, it looks beautiful out here. I'll show you. A little clean-up job. One of our containers collapsed in our food drawer. A little bit of mess. This is the offending article. It had a can of beans sitting on top of it. It was a ring pull, and yeah, it just gave way under all the agitation on the corrugated road. This is the other problem article. Tetra Pak of apple juice. So yeah, they don't do well in corrugations. Best to repackage into a bottle or another container. Yeah, so finished cleaning up that mess in the cupboard inside, and we're just about ready to head off now for the day. As I said before, on a little place called Gibb, which is the name of the free camp we're at, and it's on the Gibb River Station. The owners allow people to come in here, stay for free. It's on a little creek, only a tiny creek, but there is a little water hole there with some water flowing that you can sit in and cool off. So we'll probably do that at the end of the day today. Yeah, but this place gives you access to the Barnett River Gorge, and we're going to go for a walk down there. It's probably only 1.5 km from here, but it will be hot out there in the sun, exposed on the way down, and then once you get to the gorge you just kind of find your way along. There's no set tracks, it's just a bit of an explore. So we've been walking about 10 minutes. This is an unmarked track. There is a sign which tells you directions, but a bit confusing about whether you cross the creek to start or not. So we've been walking 10 minutes down the side of a little creek and some really long snaky looking grass, and we've decided to go back to the beginning and try crossing over the other side of the creek to start with and see if we can find a better track on the other side. Whew. Alright, we've crossed the creek, dry creek, and we're coming up here. We've got to follow the rock cairns as well. Got garment happening, rocks right here. There's a lookout. Unexpected and beautiful. out. Just walking along the top of the gorge. Had a recent fire, I think, cleaning out the shrubs. Oh, it's hot up here. We're working pretty hard for this swim. Super hot up here. We've just started to come to the point where we start to climb down. You can hear that water down there. I just cannot wait to get wet. So close now. Our next campground will be at Windjana Gorge, but before you head in there you need to pay for your camping passes at the Mount Barnett Roadhouse, and it's a pretty good stop. Next stop on the Gibb River Road is the Windjana Gorge, so we've come into the campground here, and this is really special because you've got this waterhole right here at the campground to go swimming, so you don't have to walk through the gorge to get a swim, so that's really good. We're going to be here a couple of nights. It's got good facilities here, a little bit of shade. And yeah, we've had a bit of a walk around and we think this could be a nice little site in here. So Kerry is going to endeavour to back the van in here. He's very good at it. Okay, so this is our little setup while we're here. And now we're heading down this way to find that water and have a swim. Little swimming hole at the campground. Beautiful. Can't wait to get in that water. You can just pop in here and have a lovely swim. There are some benefits to being late in the season. We just can't believe this, that there's just no one here. Oh, it's beautiful. This morning we're heading up the Windjana Gorge, but the first step is to get across the river. So Kerry's gone across and retrieved these barrels, and we're going to load our things up into there to get across the river, and then the walk starts. Absolutely beautiful morning. We climbed to the top of the falls for a bit of an explore. It's beautiful up here too. Well, we've had the most amazing day here, but it's time to head back. So Kerry has just discovered a major problem on the Caravan. It seems we have a cracked chassis. The boys are just down there having a look at it now, assessing what we can possibly do. Just prior to our arriving at Mount Barnett Roadhouse, we'd had an incident on the road. In the initial checks of the van, the problem wasn't spotted, but in the final checks and maintenance to get us back on the road, there it was. We're fortunate that we're travelling with friends just now. The boys went off and scoured the campground to look for a piece of steel that could be used as a temporary brace. They were fortunate and found some. So what are you trying, Kerry?
We're just trying to do a makeshift just to support it till we get to somewhere.
Okay.
And, yeah.
Somewhere. We don't know where that will be. We're approximately 320 kilometres from the nearest town, and over 200 of that, it's serious corrugations. Can you just give us an update on what we've managed to do?
So the main beam from side to side on the Caravan that supports the suspension is snapped totally in half. So we've just put on virtually a temporary brace at the moment to try and hold it together until we can get to some help somewhere.
Yeah, so we're heading out to Mount Barnett Roadhouse. There's telephone there, and there is a mechanic up the road that we're going to make contact with. He specialises on bib repairs, so maybe we've got something he can help us with. Let's hope. Well, we've rung the car repair guy, and yeah, it's Sunday. He's not open, so we did manage to speak with him. We can drop in there tomorrow morning anytime from 8:30, but he doesn't sound real confident about actually fixing the problem with the chassis, but he might be able to do some kind of a patch-up job just to keep us going along the road, and we need a pop fix at some later point. Anyway, that's what we're hoping for. So today we're on our way to Gelvin's Gorge. That's where we were going, so we're going to put this aside for a little bit, potter along at 10 to 15 kilometres an hour, and at least go down to see this beautiful gorge and have a swim down there, and then we'll just see what tomorrow brings. We were just laughing before, and we've seen these t-shirts. You can buy a t-shirt that says I survived the Gibb, or you can buy a t-shirt that says I didn't survive the Gibb. So we're just thinking about which one of those we might need to buy. Made it to the car park of Gelvin's Gorge. We're just going to walk down now for a kilometre or so. Nowhere else for us to go today. The next stop up the road will be the car repair place in the morning. So we've thrown quite a few things in the bag, and we'll probably stay down here for a few hours, enjoy the cool of the water. nothing's going to stop us enjoying the Gibb, and this was a great day. Crawling along, nursing our broken chassis, trying to get to the mechanic. Tyre repairs and mechanical. Over the range. For hire. Well, here we are at the over the range tyre and mechanical repairs on the Gibb River Road, and this is the guy set up here, his workshop. We have a lot of hope that we might find some kind of resolution today, just a short-term one at least, to get us moving, and then you know, it's going to be a big fix a little bit further down the road. So we're trying to be positive, trying to be hopeful, but it's actually quite overwhelming. Just been out here on the road, only being able to chug along at about 10 kilometres an hour. Every time you hit a corrugation and everything bounces, you just wonder whether the chassis will just give in, give way, and everything will collapse around it. But yeah, it's not easy. I know we'll get through it, but yeah. So Neville is the mechanic here. He's just invited me to come and have a seat over here, and he's got these photos of the wet season. And apparently it seems like they're his own photo books that he's put together, a little bit about him. And so I'm going to have a look, and I'll show you a couple of them. Gibb River Road, crikeys. Adcock River flowing at over the range. Manning Gorge in the wet, that's what it was supposed to look like. We just had a trickle of little water over here. Barnett River crossing, oh my crikeys, we went through that dry. What's the verdict?
Well, he's not keen on doing a repair. He said he will do a repair if we want one, but it's pretty bad, and he thinks we should maybe try an insurance claim.
So what do we do from here then?
Well, we'll get it taken back into Derby on the trailer, I guess, and take it from there.
Okay. Yeah.
And we'll ring up the insurance company, see what they cover, what they do, you know.
Can we ring from here?
Yeah, he said he'll sort out the phone. So if we get NRMA's numbers and stuff like that, and then we'll drive into Derby, Helen Phil, and go do what they want to do. We'll just be, don't know where we'll stay in Derby.
Alright, it's now about an hour and a half, 2 hours later. I've been on the phone to the NRMA. Our insurance is with them, and we have roadside assistance at premium care package. So yeah, what seems to be happening is they're going to have to come out and put the caravan on the back of a truck, get it into Derby. So our premium care assistance is taking care of that, and they're arranging that, getting the truck out. They're also going to be able to give us 3 nights accommodation to start with in Derby, while we get someone to assess the van and see whether it can be fixed up, and then give time for the insurance claim to go through, and hopefully they'll approve that, and yeah, then we'll be back on the road. So Yeah, it's gone from complete bleakness where I thought we're kind of at the end of our road here and we'd probably be packing up and going home, which in itself would have been lovely to see everyone. But yeah, so how are we doing, Kerry?
Good. It's all working out. Fine,
Yeah.
I hope. Yeah.
Had some initial hiccups trying to get the premium care assistance, but they've come good. So yeah, at least we're going to be on the move. And yeah, so now we've got a bit of sorting out to do. We've got to move out of the van for a few days. So yeah. It's now about 2 o'clock and it turns out that we have to really say goodbye to the caravan from here. So we thought it would maybe get picked up this afternoon, but they can't pick it up till Wednesday. Today's Monday, or if they can't book that one in, it could be 10 days before it ends up in Derby. So we virtually had to move out of the caravan with everything we might need, not just for the 2 nights it'll take us to get into Derby. So yeah, it's been a bit of a struggle, hasn't it, Gary?
It has. This is the 3rd time we're just thinking that we've had to abandon the caravan for some reason.
Anyway, that's okay. We have got some things sorted. We have got a little plan here. So we're going to go off and see Bell Gorge still tomorrow, and I head into Derby the day after, and just wait for our little caravan to show up, and then see what the outcome is with.
We got a camp in a tent.
Yeah, and we're only set up for very basic camping. Don't have a fridge, that kind of thing. Anyway, all right, back in the air conditioned car. Bye, little caravan. So long. It's another new morning, so welcome to our new and hopefully temporary accommodation. We've moved into the tent. We've come on down to Silent Grove Campground. Just staying in here. Tent set up, living out the car. And thankfully we do have our friends with us who've got some fridge space, so they're helping us out, keeping our fridge items cold. We are just going to make our way into Derby. We're not sure at this point because the phone reception was so bad, and up there we're just relying on the mechanic's phone. We left before we got any confirmation phone calls about what was happening. We'd already been there for a number of hours. So we're not sure if the van will get into Derby this Wednesday. Yeah, so that's kind of where we're at. At times it just gets a bit overwhelming, very emotional, I suppose. And then you kind of settle back into again. We could have actually had an accident with that van on the road and been seriously hurt, but we're not. So we're really grateful for that, really thankful for that. Yeah, but we're going to head up to Bell's Gorge today and have a great day. They say the falls are still flowing, so it should be beautiful up there. So we're going to enjoy that, come back later this afternoon when it starts to cool off a bit. And yeah, then we're moving on again tomorrow. Okay, we're just starting off on the Bells Creek, Bells Gorge track. The track heads about 11 kilometres further up the dirt road from the Silent Grove campground. It's a grade 4 and then a grade 5 track today, and we're expecting to do around 3.5 kilometres return, I think. So yeah, looking forward to that swim already. First dip at the top in the infinity pool. Bell Gorge is stunning. Popular, but stunning. There's plenty of water and some cool rock overhangs where you can get shade all day. If you're fortunate enough to get here, then make sure you go and explore downstream. There's more pools to swim in and a beautiful surprise waterfall. What another great day on the Gibb, but the sun's getting low and it's time to head back. We decided there was no real rush to get into Derby, so why not make some more dust tracks and head to Windjana as we'd originally planned to do. We've left Silent Grove this morning. Oh, get out of the car. We've left Silent Grove this morning and heading over to Windjana Gorge, and we're just come to the top of the hill here. This view may not look much to some, but if you're in love with the Kimberley like I am, it's a stunner. Wow. Stopped at a little place called Dog Chain Creek just off the side of the road. It looks like a beautiful spot if you're here around lunchtime or maybe overnight. Look at this beautiful little creek. It'd be a great little overnighter. It even says you can swim here. And now we've arrived at Windjana Gorge in the campground area here, and we set up our little tent again for the night. Kerry's over here still fixing up a couple of things. This is our little tent. It's got a fly to go on it as well, but it's really nice without the fly. It just stays really nice and cool like that compared to having the fly on. So that's how we're rolling, and just hopefully there won't be too much dust coming in from around us. Yeah, so here we are. We'll just be here until about midday tomorrow, and then we'll move on again. But hopefully we'll get a good look at the gorge in that time, and we'll be on the lookout for those freshwater crocodiles that they reckon there might have been like 170 of them here recently, so that should be good to see. Just going to go for a short afternoon walk. We've been on through the savannah grass, and now we're going down to see if we can see any of the crocodiles. Wow, this just is a most beautiful place. The next morning we headed back down into the gorge for a longer walk. To access the gorge you had to walk through this narrow opening in the rocks. The rocks themselves were fascinating because they were obviously once part of a reef that was under the ocean, and if you look carefully you can find fossils. Before you know it, it's time to head back and pack up. This is our last stop on the Gibb, and all that's left now is to head on down the road to Derby. And that brings us to the end of our time on the Gibb. Oh my goodness, what an adventure. Not what we expected, but nothing can take away from the adventure that is the Gibb. The saga of the van is going to continue for a while yet. We don't yet know where it can be fixed or what that will take, what it will cost, or even if the insurance company will accept our claim. That's all coming further down the road. We've loved every gorge and waterfall and swimming hole, and now we have a bigger story to tell. But I do hope our mishap doesn't put anyone else off. The Gibb is definitely worth the risk. Just be as prepared as you can, take all the precautions you can, and go along for the ride. It's an absolutely spectacular part of our country. And with that, we're going to finish up this episode right here. So once again, stay safe, look after each other. Till next time, bye now.